In this video, I'll show you how to use the new Elitism and River Tendency inputs on our maze tool. You're going to find these inputs under Puzzle Settings in the left menu bar of the maze tool. So what do these two inputs do? Let's start with the Elitism tendency. The Elitism tendency controls the length of the solution path. You can make this value go from 0 to 100, and the smaller this value, the longer the solution path is going to be. So let's look at examples. So the maze on your left was generated with an elitism tendency of 50, and the one on the right was generated with an elitism tendency of 1. As you can see, the elitism tendency of 1 gives you a big, long, rambling path, versus an elitism tendency of 50 gives you a much shorter, more direct path. You can use this to increase the difficulty of your puzzles. So the smaller you make this number, the more difficult the puzzle is going to be to solve. So if you want your puzzles to be more difficult, you're going to want to use the smaller elitism tendency numbers. If you want them to be easier, use a bigger elitism tendency number. So now let's look at the river tendency. Whereas the elitism tendency deals with the solution path, the river tendency deals with the dead ends, the paths that don't lead to the solution. This one can also be a number from 0 to 100, and the smaller this value, the shorter the dead ends are going to be. As you can see in these examples, the maze on your right is going to tend to have smaller dead ends, which was generated with a river tendency of 1. And the maze on the left, generated with a river tendency of 50, is going to tend to have longer dead ends. So if you're looking to add complexity to your maze, you want to have longer dead ends. You're going to want to have your river tendency number to be a higher number. So you can play around with this, have fun, see what all different kinds of mazes you can use, and see what kinds of different complexities you can come up with, and you can just create an almost infinite number of different complexity and types of mazes with this new tool. Have fun.